Hey gang, so ultimately I'm working on an indie project to go over and try to get a bit more comfortable with Unreal Engine. I have virtually no experience with Unreal Engine, so this is a first for me. And I'd like to go over and take a little bit of time to familiarize myself with it, get comfortable going over and building stuff with it. And so I'm starting my first project. I've made a very small amount of progress on that project thus far, but wanted to formalize that process a bit. As I've formalized that process, I am looking for ways to go over and try to keep myself more honest on that. So I figured I'll start doing some shitty little devlogs. Ultimately, this is for me. It doesn't really mean to be for anyone else, but I might send it to some people to give them updates and, like I said, help keep me honest. So this is as dirt simple as can possibly be as it stands right now. I do have something that exists. I've lovingly termed it FooBar, and it's a game. I'm gonna hate this music so much by the time that it's done. But the basic premise is fairly straightforward. There are a bunch of guys who are going over and running around, and they'll try to whack you. If they whack you, you die, and you can attempt to try again, and ultimately you're going to try to collect all of these coins. And if you collect all of these coins, you'll get a little message that says you've won, and you can go over and continue and go on to the next level. Now, like I said, that's pretty minimal. It has some basic enemies that go over and walk around and has some assets and shit, but doesn't really have any real gameplay or fun. Now, I'm not really concerned about this from the standpoint of a design exercise. I'm not going to sit down and really grind into what it means to make this as fun a game as physically possible. This is mostly about me trying to learn the engine. So instead I'm going to take this project front to back and try to bring it to completion. Now, that doesn't mean I'm not going to make it fun. Hopefully it'll have at least some modicum of that, but the design intent here isn't necessarily the thing that I'm driving for. So, relatively straightforward project. I'm going to make it a traversal platformer where you avoid guards and collect coins to get to a particular point. With that in mind, I've put together a small little list of things for me to do and given myself some deadlines and broken those deadlines up into milestones that I can go over and do. You'll see right now I'm going to be going over and trying to do the MVP gameplay prototypes. I've built into this playtests, so I'll go over and try to grab random people to do these playtests and then also perform some level of revisions based off of the amount of time. This project will take me till the end of May, till end of the start of May, roughly mid-May. And we'll go through a handful of iterations on stuff. We'll have 10 levels plus a tutorial level, some characters, the ability to go over and get some upgrades, different traversal metrics and verbs to go over and do, and hopefully we'll have all of the aspects that one would see of a game that they can play from start to completion with all of the different things they would expect from a game. Hell, if it turns out being fun, maybe I'll even try to upload it on a free site, though once again, that's really not the goal of this. It's just to go over and get comfortable with the engine, and hopefully by the time that we hit May 9th, I have completed all of these things, and then also the game is in a solid spot. Additionally, I'll be trying my best to give either weekly or milestone updates in devlog format. TBD on what exactly that means, but will probably be a brief recording going over and doing a playthrough of things that I've made thus far and all of the different processes about that. So looking forward to going over and shooting out another one, and talk to you soon.